You are co-curator of this exhibition dedicated to Signac collectors. This is a very original, peculiar subject. Could you tell us why you have chosen this subject?
Well, it's very interesting because Signac is a painter, of course, but he's also an art collector from the very beginning. He had some family money, and when he turned 21, which was the French majority, the first thing he does is going to the Bertanguy shop, which was near his lycée Rollin in Paris. He goes in the Bertanguy shop and he buys a Cézanne. And the Cézanne will always be a key piece of his collection. He will never sell it.
What's the subject?
It's La Vallée de l'Oise. Mm-hmm. It's a beautiful painting which also expresses in a way what could be the neo-impressionism technique, but very subtly. Probably Signac doesn't know it yet, of course, because he's 21, but he's already attracted by probably the abstraction that Cézanne conveys in his paintings.
But what is really special about his attitude is that he's a real painter and in the same time an art historian in a way, because you were explaining to me that he was, for example, showing these 3 paintings together.
Yes, absolutely. Signac is definitely an art historian. He wrote a little treatise called D'Eugène Delacroix au Néo-Impressionnisme, in which he tries to show that Neo-Impressionism / Pointillism is in a way a continuation of Delacroix. Because Delacroix is one of his big masters. And also you can see here that Matisse, who was a friend of Signac and painted this painting called Luxe, Calme et Volupté.
Very famous.
When Matisse arrived in Signac's house, he saw this painting by Henri Montrose called L'Air du Soir, and it's so obvious that, of course, Matisse, who is not Matisse yet, but is already a little, is a follower of Neo-Impressionism, but he interprets the Neo-Impressionist technique in his own way. And Signac, of course, is delighted, and in his dining room, Signac will put these 2 paintings together as to show that Fauvisme is the continuation of Neo-Impressionism.
That's interesting, with the 3rd painting.
This painting by Valta, who is a Fauve painter, and the 3 paintings were set together in the dining room with the 3 the same framing.
Mm-hmm. And who is the most represented artist in the collection?
I would say Seurat. Seurat is really, Signac had 80 works by Seurat.
80?
Yeah, he possessed 60 drawings and 20 paintings.
Wow.
And among the 80 works, we gathered 40 of them, which is like a mini Seurat exhibition in the exhibition.
Which is so great.
Seurat was really for Signac a mentor, a friend. It's really the key person that decided his life, really, I would say, that when Signac met Seurat, then Seurat died very early, and Signac felt like he had to continue Seurat in his technique, but also defending Seurat's legacy. And as a fact, Seurat was not, Seurat has been bought by Americans, German, British persons, but in France nobody was interested in Seurat, really.
Despite Fénéon.
Despite Fénéon and Signac, who were very disappointed. They tried, they did Seurat shows in 1900 and in 1909, but nobody was interested. And so they were very disappointed. And Signac finally had to sell Le Cirque, which was the huge painting by Seurat. He had to sell it to John Quinn, the Armory Show fondator, who was an American collector. And he said, okay, I'm selling it to you, but with one condition. When you die, this painting has to be back in France, and it has to be in Le Louvre. But nobody wanted it in Le Louvre except for Signac. But it was a clause in the contract. So when John Quinn died, the Seurat came back in France. And that's the only reason we have a Seurat painting in France. Otherwise, nobody would care about Seurat.
Wow, that's crazy. And what about the technique of drawings, which is very famous from Seurat? I mean, he didn't follow that, right?
Oh yeah, he did. Seurat drawing, Signac's crayon comté drawings are amazing too, in the same technique, but nobody cares about them, but they are fantastic too, but that's another subject. But Signac was fascinated. The first thing that Signac loved in Seurat was the drawings, really, before the painting. The drawings, Signac considered that in the drawings, Seurat had reached the epitome of even the color technique, even the way he treated clair-obscur. So I think what Signac wrote about Seurat's drawings is really important in the way that he considered that it was the top of everything.
And it's true. Merci.